China's abrupt halt on importing liquefied natural gas from the United States has sent ripples through the global energy market. This surprising decision has left industry experts and market analysts scrambling to revise their forecasts and strategies. The impact of this move is being felt across various sectors, from energy production to international trade. This is a major geopolitical event with extensive consequences. The ban is not merely an economic maneuver, but a strategic geopolitical statement. It highlights the complex and often contentious relationship between the world's two largest economies, showcasing the intricate dance of diplomacy and power. It indicates a shift in the balance of power and a potential decoupling of the world's two largest economies. This move could lead to a realignment of global trade routes and economic partnerships, as countries and companies navigate the new landscape. The long-term implications of this shift could redefine international trade norms and economic alliances. The move is widely seen as a response to ongoing trade tensions with the United States. These tensions have been simmering for years, with both sides imposing tariffs and sanctions in a tit-for-tat escalation. The LNG ban is the latest salvo in this ongoing economic conflict, adding another layer of complexity to an already strained relationship. The trade war, initiated under the previous U.S. administration, has seen tariffs imposed on billions of dollars worth of goods traded between the two countries. These tariffs have disrupted supply chains, increased costs for businesses and consumers, and created uncertainty in the global market. The LNG ban adds another dimension to this multifaceted conflict, affecting not just trade, but also energy security and geopolitical stability. China's LNG ban is a clear escalation of this conflict, using energy as a powerful economic and political weapon. By targeting the energy sector, China is sending a message about its willingness to leverage its economic power to achieve its strategic goals. This move could have significant implications for global energy markets, potentially leading to higher prices and increased volatility. This decision has left many energy analysts scrambling to understand its full implications. They are examining how this ban will affect global supply and demand dynamics, as well as the potential impact on energy prices and market stability. The uncertainty created by this move is likely to have a ripple effect across the entire energy sector. It is a bold move by China, demonstrating its willingness to leverage its economic might to achieve its strategic objectives. This decision reflects China's broader strategy of using economic tools to exert influence and achieve its geopolitical goals. It also highlights the growing importance of energy security in China's national strategy. The ban also underscores the growing importance of energy security in an increasingly interconnected world. As countries become more interdependent, the ability to control and secure energy supplies becomes a critical aspect of national security. This move by China highlights the strategic importance of energy in the global geopolitical landscape and its potential to shape the future of international relations. The roots of this energy crisis trace back to the intensifying trade tensions between the United States and China. What started as economic disputes over tariffs and trade imbalances has escalated into a significant geopolitical conflict with extensive repercussions. Initially, the tariffs were viewed as strategic moves to safeguard domestic industries and jobs, but their ripple effects have been extensive and profound. Tariffs on goods such as steel, aluminum, and agricultural products fostered an atmosphere of distrust and hostility. Factories that once thrived on international trade faced increased costs and diminished market access. Farmers, too, were caught in the crossfire, with their exports subjected to retaliatory tariffs, resulting in surplus produce and falling prices. The agricultural sector, a long-standing pillar of the American economy, was particularly affected, with many small farmers struggling to survive. These tit-for-tat measures quickly escalated, impacting businesses and consumers on both sides of the Pacific. Empty warehouses and closed shops became common as supply chains were disrupted and consumer confidence declined. The uncertainty surrounding trade policies led to a slowdown in investment and economic growth, with businesses hesitant to make long-term commitments in such a volatile environment. Consumers also felt the impact, as prices for everyday goods began to rise, reducing their purchasing power. The Trump administration's decision to target Chinese tech giant Huawei further exacerbated tensions. The move was presented as necessary for national security, but it was also seen as part of a broader strategy to curb China's technological advancement. Protests erupted, and the diplomatic fallout was swift, with Beijing accusing Washington of unfairly targeting one of its leading companies. Accusations of intellectual property theft and security risks led to restrictions on Huawei's access to American technology and markets. This not only affected Huawei's operations but also had a ripple effect on the global tech industry. Companies that supplied components to Huawei found themselves caught in the crossfire, facing lost revenue and uncertain futures. The ensuing legal battles further complicated the situation, as both sides dug in their heels. Beijing perceived this move as a direct attack on its technological ambitions and a threat to its national security. The Chinese government responded with measures to bolster its domestic tech industry and reduce reliance on American technology. This included increased investment in research and development, as well as efforts to cultivate homegrown tech champions capable of competing on the global stage. China's response, including the LNG ban, is a calculated move to inflict economic pain on the United States while reducing its own dependence on American energy. By targeting a key sector of the American economy, Beijing aims to leverage its position in the global energy market to its advantage. The ban on LNG imports from the U.S. has forced American energy companies to seek alternative markets, while China has ramped up efforts to diversify its energy sources, including increased imports from other countries and investments in renewable energy. It signals a willingness to play hardball in the ongoing geopolitical struggle for dominance. The energy sector has become a new battleground in the broader conflict between the two superpowers, with both sides seeking to assert their influence and protect their interests. Diplomatic efforts to resolve the tensions have so far yielded little progress, as both nations remain entrenched in their positions. The move has injected uncertainty into global energy markets, forcing nations to reassess their energy strategies. The volatility has led to fluctuations in energy prices, affecting everything from gasoline costs to electricity bills. Energy experts are now grappling with the challenge of navigating this new landscape, as they seek to balance the need for energy security with the realities of a rapidly changing geopolitical environment. The long-term implications of this crisis are still unfolding, but one thing is clear: the world is entering a new era of energy politics, with far-reaching consequences for all. The repercussions for the U.S. energy sector have been swift and profound. The United States, once on the verge of becoming a top LNG exporter, now faces an oversupply and limited export avenues. American energy firms that had relied on the growing Chinese market are now urgently seeking new buyers for their LNG shipments. The abrupt cessation of exports to China has placed many companies in a vulnerable situation. Contracts that were previously considered profitable and secure are now nullified, causing financial instability and uncertainty. The effects are being felt throughout the industry, impacting both large corporations and smaller suppliers and service providers. Executives are now in crisis mode, convening emergency meetings to devise strategies to mitigate the losses. Some are exploring other Asian markets like Japan and South Korea, while others are eyeing Europe as a potential destination for their LNG. However, these markets are neither as large nor as lucrative as China, making the challenge even greater. This situation is further complicated by the Biden administration's emphasis on transitioning to cleaner energy sources. While this shift is essential to combat climate change, it presents short-term challenges for an industry already dealing with the loss of a major customer. The administration's policies aim to reduce carbon emissions and promote renewable energy, but the transition period is fraught with difficulties. The push for cleaner energy has led to increased scrutiny and regulation of fossil fuel industries, including LNG. Environmental groups are also intensifying their efforts, organizing protests and lobbying for stricter regulations. This adds another layer of complexity for energy companies trying to navigate the current landscape. The administration now faces the challenging task of balancing its environmental goals with the need to support American jobs and economic interests. This balancing act is crucial, as the energy sector is a significant contributor to the U.S. economy, providing thousands of jobs and substantial revenue. The LNG ban has also highlighted the risks of relying too heavily on a single market for energy exports. Diversification is now more important than ever. Companies are being urged to explore new markets and reduce their dependence on any one country. This is easier said than done, as building new trade relationships takes time and resources. It serves as a stark reminder that geopolitical considerations can rapidly upend even the most carefully crafted economic plans. The global energy market is highly interconnected, and political decisions in one country can have far-reaching consequences. Companies must now factor in geopolitical risks when planning their strategies. The United States must now diversify its energy export portfolio and develop new markets for its LNG. This will require diplomatic outreach and a willingness to forge new partnerships. Countries in Southeast Asia, Africa, and even Latin America are being considered as potential new markets. Diplomatic efforts are already underway, with U.S. officials engaging in talks with various countries to explore new opportunities. The goal is to create a more resilient and diversified energy export strategy that can withstand geopolitical shocks. As the U.S. deals with the repercussions of China's LNG ban, other parts of the world are feeling the effects in surprising ways. Europe, which has long depended on Russian gas pipelines, now finds itself unexpectedly benefiting from the redirection of global energy supplies. With China no longer purchasing American LNG, European nations are seizing the chance to secure these supplies at more favorable prices. This influx of American LNG is aiding Europe in diversifying its energy sources and decreasing its reliance on Russian gas. This shift carries significant geopolitical consequences, potentially diminishing Russia's influence over Europe's energy security. However, this unexpected advantage for Europe comes with its own set of challenges. The increased dependence on LNG imports brings concerns about price fluctuations and supply security. Europe must continue to invest in renewable energy sources and enhance energy efficiency measures to lessen its overall dependence on fossil fuels.